We'll start with a few from within the room.
Kent, it's been a long time coming, but Bellator Europe is finally back. It's felt like ages. Just tell us how you're feeling in Fight Week now.
Yeah, excited because, like I said, it's been a long time coming. For myself, it's been November last year was my last fight. Obviously, with what's gone on over the world, we haven't been able to do much. So yeah, for me, it's amazing. I love being in these scenarios. In the hotel room, seeing different fighters, seeing how they act. Yeah, it's amazing.
And just tell us how lockdown was for you. It was a long 6 months for everyone, but what were you doing to keep yourself fresh, physically and mentally?
Lockdown for me was amazing. I really enjoyed it. A word that someone come up with was reinvigorated, and it is true. I spent the lockdown time just working on myself mentally. Physically as well. Sorry about my mask, everyone. It's really annoying me as well. I worked on myself a lot mentally. Physically, not as much because I didn't really need to, just enough just to take over. But for the mental side, yeah, really, I can always say it was awoken in what I was doing and what I need to do.
And just moving towards Saturday night, it's a middleweight affair on the main card, and you'll obviously be very familiar with that division. What do you make of Will Fleury, and how do you see him matching up to some of the guys you've faced in the past? If
you look at the people I fought in the past, with even the 2 losses from Fabian Walter, to the win against Leslie Scara, to then the loss against Manhoef. No disrespect to Will, you don't put him at the same calibre as any of those 4 P fighters, and that's no disrespect to him. You don't, because he hasn't got the same resume as any of them. He hasn't fought any of the people they have fought, which again it could be a blessing, it could be a curse. For me, it depends on how I take it into the fight. I don't take the fight lightly. I treat it exactly the same as when I fought Melvin Manhoef. I go in there and I make sure I put everything on the line. Which really sucks. There you go.
Santiago?
Kent, greetings from Amsterdam. How are you doing?
Hello, my friend. You okay?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for asking. So I have 2 questions for you. How was the experience for you sharing the cage with such a big legend as Melvin Manhoef?
Yeah. Hey, man. Like I said, I was never, ever going to win that fight. So I watched Melvin Manhoef when I was growing up. And before, in all the interviews, they're asking me, Big John McCarthy, was saying, so how do you feel about the fight? And I was like, yeah, do you know what, man? I'm fighting Melvin Manhoef. Like, I don't care if I win, I don't care if I lose. Like, he is on my resume as a guy I fought against, a guy I grew up watching. So I instantly, after the fight, my performance coach and we went back to the room and we sat down and we spoke. And he was like, you know why you lost that fight? And I was like, because he's better. Well, yeah, he is a lot better, more experienced fighter. But I instantly gave him that mass amount of respect where I couldn't beat him, because I truly wanted to just share the cage with him. So on levels of experiences, it was the most amazing experience of my life.
Beautiful how you speak about him. He's also from Amsterdam, the same city as where I live, and you got me a little emotional, man. Beautiful how you spoke about him. Last question for me.
Look at the end of the fight, how emotional I got when I was like, I hugged him, I put his hand up, I was like, yeah, Melvin Manhoef. Like, come on. Like, what a guy.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Last thing for me, that was not only a fun fight that you had with Melvin, but also a very close fight. Would you like to rematch Melvin Manhoef in 2021 during an Amsterdam Bellator event?
No, because I'm middleweight. I don't think he wants. Well, two reasons I won't is, one, because I want to stay at 84. Like I fought Sakara at 90, light heavyweight, and I fought Manhoef at light heavyweight. That's not me, because I had to stay at that weight. I had to eat more than I normally eat. I was putting on. I had to stay, and I think I weighed in for Manhoef. I think I weighed at 90 kilos when. So her 200 pounds, I think the max is 205, and I was eating a lot, and no, because it's done. Like, I don't need to. I know, like, I know why I lost that fight, and I know the reasons why I lost it, and I wouldn't want to put myself mentally in that situation again, where if I fight anyone else, I can take away that respect for them now. Like the respect I had for Melvin Manhoef, if I fight someone else, I don't have respect for them. I'll always have respect for Melvin Manhoef.
We would still welcome you in Amsterdam, and good luck on Saturday come fight night, sir.
I'd love to fight in Amsterdam. Thank you very much.
Gareth?
Hi, Kent. It's Gareth A. Davis. How you doing, bud?
Very well, thanks. So yourself?
Very good. Now, you're a fascinating character, and your life's changed enormously, hasn't it? You know, from soccer, from a term in jail, all kinds of things. And, you know, you're an incredible person now, and it shines through in you as well, and we see it a lot. I agree with that last journalist as well. You didn't just fight Melvin Manhoef, a hero of yours. I was there cage side. It was an incredibly close fight. And I reckon if you hadn't seen Melvin Manhoef, you might have won that fight, if you know what I mean. But what I want, you've already developed a reputation. We've seen it with so many MMA guys where they go through an early period of their career and they're developing. They get their man strength, in inverted commas, and then they're just so relaxed in the cage, relaxed with what they're doing and experienced that they can take on anyone. You've shown that. You know, even the Alessio Sakara, I mean, he's a big name as well. You've got a victory over him. He's a legend in the country we're in right now, in Italy. So you must be quite happy where you sit and know that if you just keep the wins going, you're going to get that title shot. You're going to fight more big names because physically you're a handful for anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, if you look back to when I fought Fabian Walter-Gazada, I was not focused on this sport. I was still doing other sports. I was still playing Aussie rules football. I was a professional boxer fighting I had 20 fights in 1 year in professional boxing, as well as fighting Walter-Gazada and Fabian Edwards. I was just looking for money, a means of money, where when I got offered the Sakara fight, someone said to me, look, if you win this fight, you will get looked after by Bellator. And what do you mean? They said, well, I'm sure they'd give you a contract. So I put everything into the Sakara fight. Someone said to me, reinvigorated, and that's what happened. Like I was born. I realised that if I give everything to one sport, not 3-4 different sports, but still playing football, I was still fighting professionally. So I was playing semi-professional football, earning money. I was playing Aussie rules football, not earning money, just for fun. Fighting boxing professionally for money. And then I was just fighting for David Edwards. You look at my physique, you look at me as a person, you look at Walter-Gazada. I was fighting at 170 pounds. Like, I looked awful. I wasn't invested into the sport. After the Sakara fight, I invested myself, and we are here now. And yeah, I think the fact that I've really invested myself into just one sport, not multiple different sports, I believe I think I'll be a trouble for anyone.
Yeah, and I do hope you keep progressing and get that world title fight. Well, it was fascinating what you said just now about being awoken through lockdown. A lot of us had quite similar experiences where we had to pause in our lives, you know, and we saw nature in a different way, and we saw nature react in a different way. We saw waters in Venice return with fish in the water, didn't we? I don't know if you saw all the things. We all went through a life change, and when you say that you went through mental changes, are you able to elaborate on those at all? It is one of them, for example, just concentrating on one thing.
Yeah, well, the main thing was concentrating on one sport, because I was so naturally gifted at all sports. Whatever sport I did, any of my friends, but you can do any sport, and I did. I was always busy, let's do this, let's do that, I'll do that. Where now it's, let's step back, let's focus on what's at hand, what tasks we can achieve, and let's actually, because I'm only 28, like I've got, Melvin Manhoef is 43 and he had a fight, so potentially I can fight up till I'm 43 years old. I'd love, and I think he had a world title fight at 41 or 40. So if I give everything to this one sport now, and I am like, over lockdown, my mental was just focusing on everything I'm going to be doing for training wise, mental, meditation, breathing exercises, everything I am doing is solely for this sport and to become the best I can be. And just this one sport, not hundreds of other sports.
Looking ahead, I've got two more little questions. Looking ahead to Lima and Mousasi for the vacant middleweight title, how do you see that going, Kent?
Tough fight. I really like Mousasi, and we all know Lima's deadly. Difficult, in my opinion.
Difficult pick, yeah?
Yeah, I couldn't. I would... Tough one. Literally flip a coin. If you look Mousasi, I'd tell you Mousasi.
And do you want both of those guys on your resume one day? Are they guys you look at and think, oh, I'd like to fight with them?
I'll fight anyone. From now on, I'll happily fight anyone. Mentally, I can cope with anyone. Doesn't matter who they are.
All right, we'll take two more. Luchazar.
Hello, Kent. You hear me?
Yes, my friend. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So we haven't seen you since last November when you submitted Andy Manzolo. And I want to ask you, like, how long is it actually a 1 year layoff in the field of combat sports? Because 1 year away from professional football or, let's say, basketball isn't the same as being on a 1 year hiatus from MMA or boxing. What does that feel like? 1 year and no fights, nothing?
Again, I enjoyed it. As a part of me is eager to get in. Like, I can't wait for Saturday. Don't get me wrong, I really can't wait because I can show what I can do again. But yeah, to have 10 months, 11 months off, I spent time with my family, my friends, when we could, obviously, social distancing. Yeah, it was, like I said, mentally, it was great because I know what I can do before. And it was just, it felt everything was rushing. Like, it was all, like, I never had, from after the November fight, it was like, yeah, he's supposed to be fighting now. And it's like, okay, well, I'll get straight back in. Where now I've had that 10 months off to really sit and go, this is a dream. Like, this is a dream which is coming true. This is now a reality. I can see where the path is leading me. Where before it was just like, yeah, you've got to fight. Now it's, I've sat down, I've worked out the plan and the route for where we're going to go with my team, and that's where we're going to end up.
Well, that's it. Thanks for the honest answer and good luck, brother.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
We'll take our last question from Peter Leonte.
Okay. Just wanted to ask you, okay, you spoke in a beautiful way about your latest opponents, but, you know, you broke all the Italians fans' hearts when you KO'd Alessio Sakara at Bellator Genoa. What do you remember from that night?
The crowd silence.
Yeah.
And so my last fight, Andy Manzola, Alessio Sakara was there, and he came into my changing room in front of everyone and come up and shook my hand and spoke to me. And that's a true fighter, because although I came to his hometown and beat him, he's still showing me respect. And I learned the respect of the Sakara as well, because he's taught me that's what fighters do. Like, you don't just brush it off and think, I hate him, he beat me in my hometown. Like, he come up to me in London and shook my hand and told me that he said, good luck tonight, I'll be watching. And I'm very much grateful for that.
I'll ask you sorry, please continue. Sorry, my bad. I'll ask you the same question I asked Will Fleury a few minutes earlier. Do you think that he will stand and bang with you on Saturday night?
Well, obviously Will would have said yes. Ken wants to stand and bang. Does Will want to stand and bang with me? I don't know. I don't think he does. But it's like I said, if whoever he wants to take the fight, I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I know how this fight plays out. I've worked harder than he has, every aspect. I have worked harder than any fighter has in every aspect of this fight.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers, Kent. Appreciate your time, and
Gentlemen, thank you for your time as well.
we'll be joined shortly by Akon Wanless.